Good evening, everyone. Jonathan Davis here with Davis AutoSports. In this particular video, we're showing you not a completed Cherokee, but one currently in progress. For many people that visit our website, you'll see that we do show what Jeeps are being built on our website. And in the past, we would send updates to people that requested pictures. And now we decided it best suits us and everyone else for us to take progress reports on the Cherokees as they're being built, because they often take 2 to 10 months to build, varying in many different builds, of course. But this is a current Jeep that we're building along with 4 others in the shop, and instead of, like I said, sending pictures to individual people that requested it, we're just updating each one of our Jeeps, putting them on the website. That way everyone can see them. A lot of people ask, how do you sell your Jeeps? I never see them on the market for sale. Well, in the shop at any given time, we have about 15 being built. Most of those are custom built per order, per request of each individual client. They never go up for sale. That way we build it for their budget, the exact parts they want, the exact color. It's totally catered to them. And many of our other Jeeps that we sell that never come to market are Jeeps like this that we're in the shop being built, and whether they take 2 months or 10 months or a year to build, during that process, people will call in to see what we have for sale, and we'll say, we have these 3 or 4 Jeeps and da-da-da-da, and we send them pictures and they end up buying it. So the fair thing to do is just to show our Jeeps as they progress throughout the build, update the website, and if you check back on our website, you'll see that every week or 2, we will update, our XJ build, some of our major restorations like our Land Cruiser that we're doing now, older Broncos, stuff like that. So this video, by no means is this Cherokee close to being done, but we are taking deposits on it. The good thing about putting a deposit down on a build that's not completed is that you can tailor the fit and finishes to your request, your budget, everything else. So it works out really well for both parties. Patriot Blue Cherokee, 2001 model, 140,000 miles. So it's not going to be an astronomically priced Cherokee. This build was intended for someone that wants either a daily driver. It's a stage 2 package. It has a ton of upgrades though, considering it being a stage 2. We did some things on the interior that we can alter or take out or even add if requested. We'll get to that here in a moment. But overall, stage 2 Cherokee, 140,000 miles. We'll start off with a lot of the important details on this Cherokee. Service-wise, we have a brand new rear main seal, oil pan gasket, valve cover gasket. All 3 of those are all Fel-Pro seals. If you're unfamiliar with that particular service, it's very expensive. Most Cherokees that come into this shop have leaks because it's a very expensive service, and a lot of people just deal with it. The rear main seal is a 2-part seal. It's hard to merge up. They all have a tendency to leak. So that service by itself at any shop, depending on where you go, $800 all the way up to $1,500. So that's been completely done. This Jeep has an entirely brand new AC system, AC compressor, AC evaporator, orifice tube, receiver dryer, all the plumbing, all the fittings. That service, depending on where you go, you're at $2 grand up to, I've seen it as high as $3,000 for the entire system. The evaporator by itself is in between, it's inside the firewall. You have to take pretty much the entire dash out. Very tedious. Books call for 7 to 10 hours just on that one job. So all your seals, all your gaskets throughout the entire Jeep are done. Entirely brand new AC system. All your driveline components, your front differential, your transfer case, your transmission, and your rear differential, all completely drained, flushed, clean, inspected, and filled with full synthetic fluid, new gaskets, new seals for the differentials. Transmission has a new gasket, of course, and a new filter as well. So all your vitals, all your major parts, all completely gone through and serviced. Full suspension lift all the way around. Every single suspension component, every single steering component up front is all replaced. Every nut and bolt and hardware underneath this Jeep is all replaced. Every washer, everything. It's all grade 10, top of the line nuts, washers. We do that for many reasons. It looks good, it won't rust, it shows well, but most importantly, years down the road, when you want to service it, add something, take something off, you're going to be able to easily do it with the grade 10 hardware. It's not going to rust up on you, deteriorate. It takes a lot of time to do some of these lifts because on certain customer Jeeps that come up from up north, all of our Jeeps that we buy for ourselves to build are typically Virginia and Southern vehicles. But there's so many times that we have to drill out nuts and bolts and all that just to get shocks off and control arms and all that. So grade 10 is the way to go. These Jeeps probably have about 60 to 70 individual hardware parts that we add underneath, and it's done right. To go through the actual components, new coils up front, new bump stops, new shocks, new control arms, brake lines, sway bar end links, sway bar bushings, fully adjustable track bar, heavy duty tie rod bar, tie rod ends, brand new drag link bar, brand new steering stabilizer. All that is equipped with new hardware as well. In the rear of the XJ, we have a full set of brand new leaf springs, new U-bolts, new hardware for that, new shocks. When we're underneath of these Jeeps, when we drop everything, and I'll give you a quick turnaround, and we don't have our steady cam tonight, so I gotta apologize for that. But if you look at that black XJ, the front axle is completely out of the Jeep, and that's what we do when we lift our Jeeps. We just don't install parts. We drop everything, clean up the undercarriage. I'll give you a quick peek, and excuse the stability. Like I said, I don't have our steady cam. But as you see, what we do with the axles is we completely take them out. They go in our sandblasting cabinet. They get completely cleaned down, grinded. Let's get some focus, camera. Sorry about the focus, guys. There we go. And as you see, looks brand new. And that takes a ton of time to drop everything, take off every single component, clean it up. And a lot of that stuff goes unseen sometimes, and people just, you know, don't know how much time that goes into it. Even all the control arms, drive shafts, everything else, and as you see, it's completely bare underneath. So that gets done to the front and the rear axle. Go ahead and change views and get over here. So we went over all the major parts and seals, the entire AC system, everything underneath the vehicle. When showing you the axle, I just wanted to show you guys all the attention to detail that goes into, we're not just installing a lift, we are creating something that we want to look good. When you stick your head underneath of it, we want it to show well and show that there's a lot of time and effort that goes into creating a Jeep as new as possible without going overboard for the Jeep, knowing that there's a budget that we need to stay within, so we're not selling just crazy expensive Jeeps. Even though we do offer full restoration Jeeps, that's a different story. This Jeep is not anywhere near finished. If on the other view you saw the back window, there's probably 30 things listed on the window for our memo and notes that need to get done. It's been stage 1 and 2 of the paint correction service. Obviously, you see a lot of Kevlar on this Jeep. We have the front bumper completely Kevlar. We have the header panel Kevlar. We have the fender flares, the rockers, the rear flares, and the entire rear bumper. And we also have the roof done. We have the hood and the hood cowl. It's a very, very tedious process on this Jeep. The bumpers get removed, the header panel gets removed, the flares get removed, The bumpers get removed. They all get completely sanded down. Whether they're plastic or metal, they get applied with either a plastic promoter or a primer after they're sanded. Then the 2-part Kevlar gets applied, 3 coats of that. It dries, everything gets reattached. Very, very tedious. For this much Kevlar, it's probably about a 4-day process with 2 of my guys completing it. Paint correction as well. As you see, this Jeep has a